What is up, my friends? It's Ray back here, and a few weeks ago I shared with you guys my review of the awesome new Insta360 Link 4K AI-powered webcam. To sum that review up, if you're looking to take your live streams or work from home Zoom calls to the next level, the Link here is one of the best external webcams that you can buy right now. The image quality and software capabilities of this little camera are mind-blowing, to say the least. So in today's video, I thought it would be fun to compare the Insta360 Link side by side with some of the most used webcams out there at the moment, just to see how it stacks up. I'm talking the iPhone, the MacBook Pro, the Apple Studio Display, Logitech 4K Pro, and even the Sony a6600 mirrorless camera, a camera that's nearly 4 times the price and doesn't even have a lens. Sony cameras are pretty popular for streaming, and I'm curious how the Link stacks up against, a more professional high-end setup. I don't know what to expect, and that's why we're doing a comparison here together. So without further ado, let us get this show on the road. All right, my friends, so here we are with our first comparison. We have the M1 MacBook Pro and the Insta360 Link. Now, as you can see, the difference between these two is literally night and day. So you're probably wondering why I'm even doing this comparison. Well, the M1 MacBook Air, the M1 MacBook Pro, all these MacBooks in general are some of the most used webcams out there. They're built right into the laptop. So for convenience, people just turn them on and they use them. They hop on a Zoom call, hop on a live stream, whatever it may be. They're already built right in. So you have everything you need right in your laptop. But if you want to take your quality to the next level, as you can see, the footage on the Link is so much more crisp. The colors are so much more vibrant. It's just a better looking camera. Now let's switch on over to my iPhone 13 Pro, where I think we'll have a little bit of a closer comparison. Here we are with our next comparison. We have the Insta360 Link over here side by side with my iPhone 13 Pro. Now, one of the cool things about the Insta360 Link is, of course, the fact that you can switch it to this vertical portrait mode, which makes it even more versatile. And you do get that AI tracking to always keep you in frame, which is going to create dynamic TikToks, dynamic Instagram Reels, dynamic live streams, whatever you use this camera for. It's just going to take things to the next level. In terms of quality, I think they're both pretty much on par. I'm shooting in 1080p on both of these cameras right now because the Link tops out at 1080p in this vertical portrait mode. But I'm curious, how does 4K look between these two cameras? Let's switch things over to horizontal and find out. Okay, so here we are with the Insta360 Link side by side with my iPhone 13 Pro. Now I'm recording in 4K 30 frames per second on both of these cameras, and that is the key phrase right here, recording. So what you're seeing is the best possible image quality out of these two cameras. I'm really surprised to see how well the Link stacks up against something as good as the iPhone right here. So if you want a camera for recording in your office space, in your desk space, in your gaming setup, whatever it may be, the Link's actually going to be a really good camera for just recording. Even if you're not going to be doing any streaming or anything like that, it's going to be a great camera for recording and capturing some really cool footage. So now I want to compare the Insta360 Link to the Apple Studio Display, which has center stage built in, which is very similar to the AI tracking that the Link has. So let's see how it stacks up. Here we are in my office space with the Apple Studio Display and the Insta360 Link side by side. Now, the Apple Studio Display has never been known to have the best webcam. It's decent at best. And as you guys can see, the Link easily wins in terms of image quality. But what I wanted to show you guys is that both of these webcams have that tracking built in. So the Studio Display has center stage, which uses software to keep you in frame, and the Insta360 Link uses that hardware gimbal to follow you around. So with the Link, there is no sacrifice on image quality. With the Studio Display, it's going to crop in on the frame and follow you around, which is why the quality isn't the best. So in terms of quality, like I said, Insta360 Link, but as far as tracking, both these guys do a really good job. Now let's move on over to an external webcam, the Logitech 4K Pro. Here we are now with the Logitech 4K Pro and the Insta360 Link side by side. Now I do have to point out that I really do like the field of view on the Logitech 4K Pro. It just has a GoPro-like look to it. It looks really cool. However, there is one major downside with the Logitech 4K Pro, and that is the fact that Logitech has not updated the Logitech capture software as of this video to get the full 4K resolution out of this webcam. So I was kind of scrambling. How am I going to do this comparison? How am I going to do this? And I figured, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to record. So what you're seeing is maybe a 1080p, 720p image out of this camera. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but you can enable 4K and get that out of this camera too as well. Unfortunately, like I said though, the software is not supported by Logitech for new computers. So in that regard, the Link wins again in this category, and I do think the image quality is sharper, the colors are better, and things like that. You just get a lot more features for the price. Now let's switch on over to a not so fair comparison, the Sony a6600 mirrorless camera. All right, my friends, so we made it to the final comparison. We have the Insta360 Link right up against my Sony a6600 mirrorless camera with 20mm f1.8 lens. Now, this is not a fair comparison in any way, shape, or form. I should get that out of the way, but we are recording in 4K on both of these cameras right here, and I'm curious to see how the Link holds its own against a professional high-end setup like the a6600 here. I know a lot of people invest in Sony cameras to use as webcams, especially if they're live streamers, you know, content creators. They're great cameras to use, but the Link here is really holding its own. I see my computer down. I was gonna say I see my camera. I see my computer down here with the preview from the Link, and it's just looking so good. It is looking so much better than I expected it to. The background is nice and vibrant and things like that. So this is a really fantastic camera. The Sony camera over here, for reference, is about a $2,000 setup. So you have to buy the camera itself, the body, and then you have to buy a lens. So the prices do add up with all the components that you have to buy. With the Link, it's just $300. You get this little webcam here, and you get some awesome 4K quality. You get that desk view mode, so many different modes that you could do, AI tracking and all that. Just a fantastic little camera, and I am surprised. I can't get over how well it is holding its own against a professional setup like this. Like, this thing looks great. So that, my friends, was a comparison between the Insta360 Link here and some of the most popular webcams out there at the moment. As you saw, the Link sticks out and shines bright amongst the competition. I was especially surprised to see how well it held its own against my pro camera gear. To add insult to injury, my expensive gear doesn't even offer all the amazing AI and software capabilities that the Link does. When you think of it like that, you start to see just how much bang for your buck you get with this webcam. Insta360 knocked it out of the park with the Link. This thing is great. Anywho, that's about it for this video, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did and you liked what you saw, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because it always helps out the channel. Also, don't forget to follow at Raymond Strazdas on Twitter and Instagram for much more. Until the next one, I will catch you guys later. Peace!